Okay, so let's jump right in. If you've just put together your first solar system, you're probably staring at that little screen on your charge controller thinking, what on earth am I looking at? You've got all these numbers, little icons, maybe some arrows, and it's all just kind of blinking at you. What does it all actually mean?
Right? How do you know if everything's running smoothly or if one of those numbers is actually a secret warning sign that something's wrong? Well, don't worry. In this explainer, we are going to break it all down piece by piece. And I promise, by the end, you'll be able to read that display like a total pro. But before we dive into the nitty-gritty of volts and amps and all that, we have to tackle some myths first. Seriously, a lot of beginners see certain numbers, completely misinterpret them, and think their brand new system is broken when it's actually working perfectly. So let's just bust those myths right now. This one is probably the number one reason people panic. You have a 12-volt battery, but you see a number way above 12 volts on the screen, and your heart just sinks. But relax, this isn't a problem, it's actually a feature. The controller has to raise the voltage to literally push current into the battery. So, seeing a number around 14 volts, that just means your system is hard at work, charging. It's a great sign. Okay, here's another one that looks pretty scary. The panel itself says 12V right on the label, but the screen is showing 22V. Again, this is totally 100% normal. That 22 volts is the panel's raw power potential when nothing is connected to it. You can think of it like the water pressure in a hose before you squeeze the handle. You absolutely need that higher pressure, that higher voltage, to get the electricity to flow down from the panel into your battery. And finally, the classic nighttime check. You walk by your controller in the evening, you take a peek, and the current from the solar panel reads a big fat 0. Did your panels just die? Nope, it's just night. Solar panels need sun to make electricity, so at night, 0 amps is exactly what you should be seeing. The controller will still show you your battery's voltage, and that's the important number to keep an eye on when the sun is down. All right, with those big fears out of the way, we can get down to business. There are really 3 key numbers on that display that will tell you pretty much everything you need to know about your system's health at any given moment. Let's break them down. First up, we've got battery voltage. This is like the electrical pressure inside your battery. It's the best way to get a quick read on how charged up it is, but, and this is a huge but, the reading is only truly accurate when your battery is resting. That means when it's not being actively charged by the sun and it's not being drained by, say, your fridge or an inverter. You should think of this chart as your battery's report card. For a standard 12-volt battery, if it's resting at 12.7 volts, you're totally full. If it's around 12.2, you're at about 50%. And if you see it dipping down near 12.0 volts, it's time to start conserving some power. Next is the solar panel voltage. Now, just like we covered when we were myth busting, this number shows the potential power that's ready to come down from your panels. It will and it must be higher than your battery voltage. That's just how electricity works. It always flows from a higher potential to a lower one. And that flow brings us to charging current, which we measure in amps. So voltage is the pressure. You can think of current as the actual flow of the water. This number tells you exactly how much electricity is being delivered to your battery right this second. It's going to change all the time as the sun gets stronger or a cloud passes by. This is the action number. So how do volts and amps work together? Well, they create power, and we measure that in watts. The math is super simple. Power is just volts times amps. So for example, if your controller is pushing 5 amps into your battery and the battery voltage is at 14 volts, then you're generating 70 watts of power in that very moment. Pretty cool, right? Your charge controller is way more than just a display. It's actually a pretty smart little computer. It doesn't just blast power into your battery. It tells a story, a little 3-act play, to charge your battery quickly, fully, and most importantly, to do it safely. Here's how that story goes. First, you've got the bulk stage. This is the heavy lifting. The controller is sending every bit of available current straight to the battery. Then, once the battery's voltage hits a specific target, it switches over to the absorption stage. Here, it holds that voltage steady and lets the current slowly back off, kind of like letting a sponge soak up that last little bit of water. And finally, when the battery is full, it goes into the float stage, which is just a tiny trickle charge to keep it perfectly topped off. So the really crucial thing to get here is that this whole multi-stage process isn't just about speed. It's all about protecting your battery. By managing the charge so carefully, the controller prevents overheating and overcharging, and that can dramatically extend the life of your expensive batteries. Okay, you've got the theory down, you understand the numbers. Now let's talk about the really practical stuff, the critical rules and the big warnings that every technician follows to protect the gear and keep the whole system running safely for years to come. All right, please pay close attention to this one. On your controller, you'll see terminals marked load. They're meant for small things like DC lights. You must never, and I mean absolutely never, connect a power inverter to them. Inverters can pull these massive surges of power that will instantly destroy the electronics inside the controller. Poof, it'll be toast. Always connect your inverter directly to the battery and make sure you use a proper fuse. And here they are, the 2 golden rules of installation. It's so simple, but so important. Rule number 1, connect the battery to the controller first. Rule number 2, then connect the solar panels. Why? Well, that controller needs to wake up and get its power from the battery first. It needs to see what the system voltage is before it gets hit with all that unregulated power coming down from the panels. Getting this backwards can seriously damage some controllers. So just take a second and look at everything you can do now. You're not just staring at a confusing screen anymore. You can tell the difference between a resting voltage and a charging voltage. You know why your panel voltage is so much higher. You can even calculate your charging power in real time. You can spot the different stages of a healthy charge cycle. You basically have real diagnostic skills now. You've really gone from being a passive user to an informed owner who's in control. So go take a look at your controller. Now that you can actually understand its language, now that you can read its vital signs, what story is your solar setup telling you right now?